Good afternoon, everyone. I'll put the speakers on. Speakers are off. Speakers are on. Good afternoon, everyone. Can you hear me all right over at the jail? Mr. Romero?
Yes, Judge.
Good afternoon.
Good afternoon.
Let me just say hello. I want to introduce myself. I'm Judge Schiff. Normally, I'm not at this courthouse. Normally, I'm at the North Regional Courthouse. Been asked to come down here for today and take over a docket for Judge Powell, who's out of town on an education assignment. We're going to go slow. We're not going to rush our cases. I want to remind you that today is not the day to plea out a case. It's not a trial day. Today is a first appearance. The purpose of the first appearance docket is for the court, and I have during the lunch hour, to review the probable cause affidavits and make a determination of whether or not there is probable cause. If I have made a determination of probable cause, then we'll get to the next level, which has to deal with bonds and pretrial release, if any. Once that's taken place, we'll get on to the next case, all right? For the purposes of this morning's hearing, this afternoon's hearing now, the Office of the Public Defender is will be representing you unless, one, you say you don't want them, or two, you have private counsel that's here. If you're here for a loved one and you want to come on up when your loved one's case is called, just go to the podium and let me know your name and your relationship to that person. Mr. Romero, you ready? You set? And Mr. Reedy, you ready?
Judge, yes, I am. Probably the last three people on the dock. I'm going to need a little bit of time, but right now we can proceed.
First, we can proceed. And Mr. Linder, you're set to go?
Yes, sir.
All right. I understand that there's a private counsel for the last person on the docket. All right. Very good. So here we go. Michael Coburg, please.
No, Broward, John. Can we put him on a recall? He's on his way down. They sent me the wrong person.
Absolutely. Nicole Hanbea.
I've been informed she bonded, Judge.
Thank you. Okay. Next is Amy Turner.
Ms. Turner, come on up. She's approaching. She's here at main, Judge.
What's that? Your bond has been posted, Ms. Turner. You're considered bonded. You have a good day. Carolyn Kinley.
Ms. Kinley, come on up, please. She's approaching, Judge. She's here at main.
Mr. Manzion?
Good morning or good afternoon. I have I've read there's a co-defendant involved in this, attorneys. I'm sure you've picked up on that. I've read the probable cause affidavit, and I find probable cause, one count of burglary of an unoccupied structure unarmed. I'll hear from the state attorney, then I'll hear from the public defender's office. Counsel, please.
Your Honor, would be requesting a $1,500 bond, no return to the property.
Response?
Judge, we have no objection as far as special condition, no return. My understanding, and speaking Ms. Kinley, she's been here her whole entire life. This is first felony offense, Judge. If the state can confirm that, I'm going to be asking the court to consider straight ROR. In the alternative, if the court's not inclined, then I'd just be asking for a $1,000 bond on this third-degree felony, Judge.
State, first offense.
I see no history, locally at least, Your Honor.
Bond is set at $1,000, no return to property. Thank you.
Thank you, Judge.
Thank you. Barry Mills, please.
Bonded.
Thank you. Richie Nunez, please.
Bonded.
Jesse Manzion.
Judge, he's here present. He declined to serve as public defense.
Thank you.
I'm sorry.
I just want to speak to the gentleman first.
I went with the public defender.
Oh, you changed your mind?
Yeah, I'm signing up right now. Can I return in a couple minutes?
I'm going to need a minute to talk to me initially. But
I've already drafted a photo order, Hector.
Yes, that's going to be one thing we're going to request.
Ori Tennis request for a photo. Granted.
Thank you,
sir. You're saying he didn't have that before he was arrested?
Yes, that's what I was.
Okay.
I don't know because I didn't see it.
Okay. I've signed it and given it to the clerk.
But if it might be just more than a little coincidence.
I don't know.
We're ready to proceed, Judge. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much. Is it Mr. Manzione? Am I pronouncing that correctly?
Yes.
Thank you, sir. The court's reviewed the probable cause affidavit, and the court finds probable cause on the following matters. And then I'll hear from the state, and then I'll hear from the defense. Count 1, battery on an officer. Count 2, battery. Count 3, resisting. Count 4, aggravated assault. Count 5, resisting. And count 6, resisting. State.
Thank you, Your Honor. Count 4, it looks like there was some type of error between the offense that the officer intended to charge and what he was booked on. Looking at the second report, the officer clearly writes assault on a law enforcement officer. I believe the allegations support that. There was no
So you want it to be count 4. How do you want it to read then, sir?
It would just be assault on a law enforcement officer.
Take the way aggravated out and make it assault.
Yes, that'd be
Thank you.
Misdemeanor offense.
Yeah,
All right.
That's fine with us, Judge.
All right, so talk about counts 1 and 2 first, please.
Your Honor, based on the allegations, I would be requesting a $2,000 bond on counts 1 and 2.
Each or 1,000 each?
On each.
In each, yes, sir.
$500 bond on 3, and I'm sorry, on 3 and 5, and I do not believe a bond would be necessary now on counts 4 or 6.
Okay, so 1 and 2 and 3 and 5. And 5 is $500 as well, is what you're asking?
Yes, sir.
So you're asking 2, 2, 5, and 5. Okay, who's going to go ahead and speak? Mr. Romero? Mr. Reedy?
Judge, as far as the bond, that's what I'll address, Judge. And speaking of Mr. Manzione, my understanding is he just relocated down here to South Florida. He's been here 1 month. He's 25 years old. Unfortunately, at this time, financially, it's not looking good for him. He is currently looking for work, and right now he is homeless. So he has no place to stay, and he's not employed.
I have a home in New York, though, with my family.
Now, he did give me the phone number of his father, who I'm going to be reaching out to see, first to let his father know what type of situation Mr. Manzione's in, and to see if he could help with his monetary bond. But as far as Mr. Manzione's own financial resources, he has nothing to help post.
Okay. You came to, I don't want you to discuss the case. You came to Florida how long ago, sir?
It was toward the end of February.
And did you come here on vacation or with a job?
I came here to go to a rehab for alcohol abuse.
Okay, and did you ever enroll yourself in that?
Yes.
And what happened?
I had been kicked out because of some...
Don't have to give me the specifics. So they asked you to leave. I'm concerned about line 3 of the probable cause affidavit. Without going into great details, we all can see what it says. Could we get an evaluation for this gentleman?
You can, Judge. It would be my intention. In fact, I've already.
I know. I'm asking out loud.
You can if you want. Yeah.
Somebody want to ask me to order that?
Sure. If you want to order a mental health examination, Judge, we would not be opposed to it.
Mr. Linder, would you be opposed to that either?
Oh, absolutely not. I just want to know, are we specifically referring to a...
Line 3?
Line 3.
No.
Oh, yeah, you know
what
what
we're
it
referring
is.
to there. I'm talking about the request is being made for a mental health evaluation in general. Are we specifically talking about a certain type of evaluation?
Well, a general request with line 3 in mind?
Yeah. I think that the jail should Someone
We
from
can
the jail
request it,
staff should have a
but-
conversation
Okay,
with
so we're
Mr.
going to do a
Manzione.
mental health exam. Now let's talk about the bond. I don't have any ties to the community, and right now you're not in rehab, and you could potentially be a flight risk. Without ties to the community, for whatever reason, you're not in the rehab and you have some other issues, bond will be set as requested by the state. $2,000 on count one, $2,000 on count two, $500 on count three, count four is ROR, count five is $500, and count six is ROR. So the total amount is $5,000, sir. All right? And counsel has asked for a photo to be taken. That will be taken care of as well.
Yes,
All right, I wish you well. Thank you, sir. Mr. Romero, is there anything else we need to address for Mr. Manzione?
No, Judge.
Thank you, sir. I want to call back Michael Coburg.
Yes, Judge, he's present at the
Thank you. And that's what I thought. So, good afternoon, sir. I'll make this quick. These are out-of-county holds. These are no bond holds. And I'm sure you're going to be having a hearing soon with a judge on that. And I wish you well, sir.
Yes, Judge. We have we have extradition court on Tuesday and Thursday afternoons. So
you're looking like a hearing tomorrow, sir. Good
tomorrow
luck
or
to you,
Thursday.
sir.
Yes.
Thank you, sir.
All right.
Emerson Jeffrey.
Mr. Jeffrey is approaching, Judge.
Good afternoon, Mr. Jeffrey. Let's go through this. Probable cause, count one, capias on a felony, no bond hold. Probable cause, count two, also an outstanding felony, $1,000 bond. Third, $1,000 bond. You're having a hearing tomorrow morning at 8:30, and I wish you well, sir. Thank you, sir. Edward Curry, please. He bonded, thank you. That's on me. Here you go, Madam Clerk. Samuel Desravenez.
Bonded, Judge.
Thank you. Guillermo Moya.
Judge, she's going to require a Spanish interpreter.
Is Spanish interpreter here? No? Let me call for one. You got it? Marcus Nagel.
He's here, present, Judge.
Okay. Mr. Nagel, good afternoon. The court's reviewed the probable cause affidavit. Count 4, possession of methamphetamine. Bond is set at $1,000. Counts 1, 2, and 3 are ROR. Is that correct? ROR 1, 2, and 3. Paraphernalia resisting false alarm, first offense. I wish you well, sir. Thank you.
Judge,
Yes,
and
sir.
speaking of Mr. Nagel, we're going to be requesting on his behalf the court consider releasing Mr. Nagel ROR or releasing him to pretrial release. My understanding is right now he's currently unemployed. What he does is he's an attorney, but he's suffered some sort of injury, and right now he's just dealing with that. Now he lives in Miami Beach with his wife and his daughter. His wife happens to be overseas, so she can't help with the monetary bond. His daughter's right now staying with her mom.
Is he in good standing with the Florida bar?
Judge, he's actually, from what he had told me, he's licensed in New York. He practices down here federal law.
Are you
he's
in
not,
good
admitted to
standing with the New York bar?
Yes, sir. Judge, oh, I'm sorry.
Are you a member of a law firm in New York?
I know.
I run my own practice, sir.
You don't have any paralegals or any assistants there that can reach out to somebody you know in New York to get a $1,000 bond?
No, sir, because I do the administrative work and the legal work myself.
Bond is kept at $1,000.
And Your Honor,
Thank you.
just so the court's aware,
Yes,
his current status in New York is suspended.
he's suspended. So that's not a good answer to tell me you're in good standing. Bond is set at $2,500. You really are a flight risk. I was taking your word as a member of the bar that you were in good standing, but when a member of the bar tells me that they're in good standing and the state tells me you're not, that tells me that there's a problem. Bond is set at $2,500. Good luck to you, sir. Next, please, Ryan Huckabee.
Mr. Huckabee is here present, Judge of Maine.
Okay. Mr. Huckabee is the co-defendant on that case we just did a little while ago. And he's charged with burglary, and I'll start with the state. Court finds probable cause.
Your Honor, he has a local history, but it's really minor stuff. I'd have no objection to the same bond and conditions you set for his co-defendant, $1,000 bond, no return.
And that's what the defense is asking for, Judge.
Well, then you're both on the same page, $1,000 bond, no return. Thank you very much. Kenneth Hanley.
Oh, Judge, he's here and he declined to serve as a public defender.
Thank you, Mr. Hanley. So let me explain how we're going to proceed, Mr. Hanley. I'm finding that there's probable cause on both counts of burglary and criminal mischief. Now what's going to happen, and you're a co-defendant with the others, I'm going to ask the state to talk to me about what they think a proper bond amount should be, and because you've elected not to go with an attorney, I'll allow you, if you want, to speak. So I'll start with the state. I can't hear you.
Again, I see nothing locally, Your Honor, so I'd be asking for the same bond and conditions, $1,000, no return.
$1,000, no return. You want to say anything, sir?
Yeah, I was just unclear about the public defender.
Well,
that's why I waived it.
Okay, well, I'm keeping the bond at the same amount as the other two individuals who are tied into the same matter allegedly, okay? $1,000 count one, ROR count two, no return. Thank you. Why did we find out about the Spanish interpreter? On their way?
Yeah, they'll be on their way, Judge.
Okay.
In a few minutes.
Davil Allwood.
Mr. Allwood is approaching, Judge. He's here at Maine. Come on up, sir. Okay.
Mr. Allwood, good afternoon. I've reviewed the probable cause affidavit. I find probable cause exists on possession of cocaine. Bond is set at $1,000.
Judge, if I could be heard, and speaking with Mr. Allwood,
Talk to me.
Unfortunately, right now he's financially indigent. He is homeless. He does have an income. He gets disability.
Yes, sir.
He's 7 years old, been here 15 years. From what he advised me, there's no one I can contact on his behalf to help post his monetary bond. Though he does tell me he's homeless, he does have a mailing address where he can get future court notices to make sure he comes back to court. So, Judge, considering his financial situation, this is a nonviolent offense, I'm going to be asking the court to consider releasing Mr. Allwood on pretrial release.
Does the state have an objection to that? If so, articulate it.
I don't. I would ask for a condition of random testing.
I'll accept that. We're going to do pretrial release then, sir, with random drug testing.
Okay. Good luck, sir.
Good luck to you, sir. All right. Spanish interpreter here? Not yet. Not yet. All right. Are we ready to go on Mr. Merriweather? Yes, Your Honor. State, are you ready?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Next case is Javeri Merriweather. And state your name. State your name for the record, counselor.
Michael Dye on behalf of Mr. Merriweather.
Mr. Diamond?
Dye, D-Y-E.
D-Y, Mr. Dye, thank you so much.
His mother and father are here as well.
They can stand to your left. The court has reviewed the probable cause affidavit and finds probable cause exists for one count of intimidation, writing, or sending a threat to kill or injure. I will hear first from the state, and then I will hear from you, Mr. Dye. State, please.
Your Honor, I'm gonna, at this time, and this is based on...
Can we shut the mic, 1 second, can we shut the microphone at the jail, please, and then turn it on?
I got it, Your Honor.
Thank you so much, as needed. Go ahead, please begin.
Thank you, sir. Your Honor, at this time, I'm going to be requesting a bond in the amount of $25,000, pretrial release with a GPS monitor, additional release conditions that Mr. Merriweather may not enter or go onto any school property in Brown County, Mr. Merriweather may not be in possession of any firearms, weapons, or ammunition until further order of the court. One other condition, Your Honor, I would ask that the court order Mr. Merriweather not be permitted to go onto any social media websites until further order of the court. I did not see a criminal history for Mr. Merriweather, Your Honor, but this is based solely on the allegations that create for the state a concern for the safety of not only the community, but Mr. Merriweather himself.
So let me recap what I think I just heard you say. You want a $25,000 bond under pretrial release with a GPS monitor, not to go on the school board property anywhere in Broward County, no firearms or weapons, and no social media. Is that accurate?
Yes, it is, Judge.
Mr. Dye, you may respond.
With regard to all of the conditions that were requested, defense has no problem with any of those. Those are adequate. The issue I have is with the amount of the bond. The state's asking for a $25,000 bond. Mr. Merriweather has no priors. He has no history of violence. His parents are here. They're able to say that he has no access to firearms. There are no guns in the house. Due to his mental health condition, he cannot live alone. Okay. That makes it difficult for him to even, he couldn't flee the jurisdiction if he wanted to, because he's incapable of living by himself. He is under a doctor's care at this time. The last thing I would say too is, I know the climate that we're in right now with regard to the allegations. However, and I pulled up the news report this morning, and the news report quotes the Miramar police as saying, according to the police, there is no credible threat towards the school. This is a case where he was allegedly on the internet, the threat was made, but even the police didn't find it as a credible threat. So we'd be asking for a bond in the range of $5,000, which we think is reasonable under the circumstances.
Okay. Mr. Merriweather, can you hear me, sir?
Yes, sir.
I'm not going to ask you anything about this case. I want to ask you if you understand what's happening. Do you understand that if and when you're released from jail, there is no social media for you at all? You can't go on any social media site at all? Do you understand that?
Well, that happened. I want to be released today.
Well, I don't know if you'll be released today or later tonight or tomorrow morning, but just please listen. Let's go slowly. Do you understand that you cannot use social media at all?
That's how I make my money, though.
Well, that's how you make your money? Well, I don't know. Mom and Dad, he has a cell phone, I assume? Okay.
Yeah,
1 second, Mr. Merriweather. Let Mr. Dye speak.
speaking to his mother, this is a function of his mental health.
I understand.
At this point in time.
How is he getting released if he doesn't understand the nature of the conditions of his release right now?
Well, the issue, I mean...
Can we take away his cell phone? Absolutely. Can I order, can I order that this cell phone be taken away from him?
Yeah.
Let me ask the question this way. Mom and Dad, do you own the phone or does he own the phone? Okay. So, as a condition of a release, then there'll be no cell phone. I'll go along with that. All right. $15,000 bond, same conditions, pre-trial release with GPS device, no going on school board property, no firearms, no weapons, and your parents have assured me that there'll be no social media or any internet access at this time. If the next judge wants to modify that, that'll be up to the next judge. But until you have your next hearing, these are the terms and conditions of your release. Does everybody understand that, State? I know you disagree with the bond amount. I know you disagree with the bond amount, but everybody understands the terms and conditions then?
Yes.
And that's the order of the court. Thank you very much. Mr. Merriweather, I wish you well. Mom and Dad, I wish you well. Mr. Dye, thank you for coming in.
Our Spanish interpreter is present.
Spanish interpreter is present. All right. Good afternoon. Welcome. Perfect
Judge,
timing.
this is Mr. Moya. He's on page 8 of your docket,
Got
and
it.
he declined the services of public defender.
All right, we're going to go slow then. First, I need the interpreter. Please raise her right hand. If you would, do you swear or affirm that you'll translate from English to Spanish and Spanish to English accurately?
I will.
And please state your name.
Alicia Stegmoller.
Thank you so much. All right. It's good to put a face with some of the folks I talked to in the courthouse. It's finally good to do that. All right, excellent. Mr. Moya, good morning or good
Señor
afternoon.
Moya, buenas tardes.
Buenas tardes.
Good afternoon.
Mr. Moya, you're entitled to have a lawyer represent you this afternoon during this hearing.
Señor Moya, usted tiene el derecho de tener un abogado que lo represente esta tarde en esta vista.
You don't
Sí,
want
sí.
you don't
Yes,
want a
yes.
lawyer?
No
You want to do
quiero un
this without a
abogado?
lawyer?
Voy a buscarlo, voy a tratar
I'm
de buscar un
gonna
abogado.
try to find one attorney when I'm out.
But you can use the public defender this morning if you want, or
Pero
this afternoon.
esta mañana, que diga esta tarde, puede usar los servicios del abogado de oficio si quiere.
No sé qué hacer.
I don't know what to do.
Mr. Romero,
Señor Romero.
Yes, Judge.
want to talk to him for a moment and see, before I go forward, because what's going to happen, go
Lo que
ahead.
va a pasar
This is, I found probable cause
es
on
que
a
hay
fourth
motivo justificado
DUI,
en el
and I'm going to hear
4
from the state in a
manejamos los
moment as to a
efectos.
bond, and I would
Y voy a-
like to
a
have someone be
escuchar
able to
del Estado
articulate
sobre la
his
fianza.
response.
Y quiero que él articule su
Okay,
respuesta.
very good. Let's take a moment so you can
Que
speak
vamos a
to him.
tomar un momento para que pueda hablar con el abogado.
Does anybody else have a case here this afternoon? Because I think this is the last one.
I had one request of that last case, Your Honor, with the GPS.
Yes?
Did you intend that to be level 2 or level 1? Level 1 is total home lockdown. Level 2 is he has to provide a schedule.
Mr. Dye isn't here. If you can get him out in the hallway, we can talk. Otherwise, it'll be level 1. Mr. Dye, if you don't mind coming back, the state has raised an issue, and I told them I wasn't going to address it really without you. Level 1 or level 2? State, level 1 is just the GPS, but not a home lockdown.
No, level 1 is the total home
Oh,
lockdown.
level 1 is lockdown. Level 2 is
Level 2
less
he can
restrictive.
travel, but he has to provide a schedule. I don't necessarily have an issue with level 2. His parents just have to understand what would be involved in assist. And
I think level 2 would be better just due to the fact that he's going to need medical care, and he is going to need to travel. Obviously, he's going to be traveling for the medical care with his mother or his father.
I agree with Mr. Dye.
yeah, I'm fine with
Okay,
level 2.
level 2.
I would just advise, if I may, his parents, they're going to be getting a call from pretrial because they have to verify an address.
Right.
You might want to ask all the questions you can what level 2 consists of, so you're familiar with what the issues are.
Thank you for coming back in.
No problem, Your Honor. Thank you.
All right, let's go ahead back to Mr. Moya. So is Mr. Moya,
Judge?
yes?
I tried to talk to him again, Judge.
No, that's
This is
fine.
the third conversation. He still doesn't want a public defender.
That I'm
Yo
not
traté de hablar
going
con
to
él de
force
nuevo
him.
y todavía no quiere abogado de oficio. No lo vamos a forzar.
All right,
Está bien.
Mr. Linder,
Señor Linder,
I would like to ask you as to count 1. Mr.
sobre el
Linder?
primer cargo, señor Linder.
Thank you, sir. What are you looking for as a bond on count 1?
¿Qué busca como fianza para el primer cargo, señor Linder?
Your Honor, as this is a 4th DUI,
Su señoría, como esta es una cuarta, manejar bajo los efectos,
I'm requesting a $15,000 bond.
pide una
1.5.
fianza de $15,000 de fianza.
Pretrial release with a TAD monitor.
Libertad antes del juicio con un monitor tag.
No alcohol or intoxicants.
No alcohol ni embriagantes.
Random testing.
Pruebas al azar.
And no driving until further order of the court.
Y no guiar hasta que un juez le diga que pueda guiar.
Okay. It's your turn, Mr. Moya.
Señor Moya.
Being that you don't want the services of the public defender this afternoon, the state has asked for me to set a bond at $15,000, pre-trial release with a tag monitor. No
Señor
alcohol.
Moya, el Estado ha pedido que le ponga una fianza de $15,000 con un monitor tag, no alcohol,
Random testing,
pruebas al azar
and no driving.
y no guiar.
Your turn to speak if you would like.
Su turno para hablar si quiere.
¿De cuánto es la fianza?
How much is the bond?
$15,000.
$15,000.
Ok.
Okay.
Okay, bond is set at
Hey, la fianza está
$15,000
fijada a $15,000.
plus the other
¿Cuándo
terms
puedo
and
pagarle,
conditions.
doctora?
Where can I pay it, Your Honor?
They'll make arrangements at the jail. They'll get in touch with you and they'll tell
Hacen
you.
arreglos en la
Someone's
cárcel.
gonna have
Ellos
to bond them out, right?
es la cantidad.
My understanding is there are numbers for bond agents. in the
Okay.
jail.
Hay números para fiancistas allí en la cárcel.
I wish you well, sir.
Le deseo buen señor.
Thank you.
Gracias.
Anything else to come before the court at this time? State,
No, Your Honor.
counsel, Mr. Reedy?
Just our afternoons.
Second look docket, okay? I didn't see the second look. You snuck that in on me, huh?
It's mostly motions to release, Judge.
All right, well, let me
complete
have that
ambush, Judge.
docket and we can get going. Is this it here? Oh, this is the second look docket, huh? All right. Here we go. Whittlin Ermat.
Paul Ryan, I believe, Judge.
Thank you. All right, Mr. Ermat. Where is he? Can anybody help me out here?
I'm checking, Your Honor, to see where.
I do? I wasn't told that.
Ryan, do you want to waive his appearance?
Get with you at the end of the docket then. All right, thanks.
Your Honor, I'm showing he's a Paul Ryan, but
I'm going to waive his appearance, Judge. The state did file charges. They filed a misdemeanor, resisting arrest without violence and possession of drug paraphernalia. Mr. Linder and I are both in agreement that Mr. Ermat should be released on his own recognizance on the new misdemeanor case, which is 19002636 MM10A.
What about this case here,
Basically-
19244
and
CF10A?
basically the court, Your Honor, will be granting both, or in both cases. The reason being, Your Honor, sometimes.
ROR on passing a forged altered bill?
Yes, we declined those charges, we filed the misdemeanor charge. The reason Mr. Reedy is preparing the misdemeanor order is sometimes when we do a change of charge, $100 bonds end up on the misdemeanor count.
Okay. Considered it done. Thank you. Next up, Timothy Mackey.
Conti, Your Honor.
What's that?
Conti.
Here's what? There's an attorney here for who? Okay. Sure. All right. Counsel, come on up on Mr. Manzione.
Process.
What's that?
I'm sorry to disrupt your
No, no,
process.
just state your name for the record.
Louis Hanna on behalf of Mr. Manzioni.
And how can I help you?
Judge, I was just contacted by his family out of state. They're on the way down. They'll be here tomorrow night. There are some mental health issues that are of concern.
Mr. Manzione's bond was set at $2,500, I believe. Is that the
I
one?
just said it's 5,000.
5,000.
Can we have a recall Wednesday at 1:30, Judge?
I don't have an objection to that.
Or would you consider taking some information now and maybe adjusting that?
Can I have the gentleman's file back? You're here. I'm not going to require you to come back if you're here. You waive the presence of your client for this matter?
Yes, Your Honor.
Thank you. So here's what we did. There was the Public Defender's Office has asked, and I granted a request to take photographs. Your client has a shiner in his left eye.
I saw that.
I ordered a mental health exam based upon a specific line that's in the probable cause affidavit, okay?
I can tell the court that that has been done. There has been several evaluations, and in fact, let me say this, his charges manifested from him walking away from a facility that he had been an inpatient for
That's
over
where he
10 days.
made mention of that.
What the family would like to do is have him released to another facility that we're working on. So I'd like to possibly have him released SOR to a facility that we will document. I'm also permitted to represent to the court that his family is in the process of filing for a temporary emergency guardianship on his behalf. And parents would therefore take
Well, why don't we do this? You don't have, as soon as you know what facility,
yes,
and as soon as that facility says that they will accept him, I would at that point urge you to file a motion with the court to have him transferred at that time. Mr. Linder, any objection to that?
No, with the parameters that Your Honor stated, absolutely not.
All
So
right?
the parameters are $5,000 bond and a mental health evaluation.
But in the meantime, if you can get a facility that says they'll accept him immediately,
Yes.
come back, who's the division judge on this?
One moment, Judge. I don't know if it has
Okay.
it's been assigned yet. Tomorrow it should.
So as soon as they post it, I don't know if it's posted yet, who the judge is, set a hearing down. I would imagine it's going to be at least till tonight or first thing tomorrow morning before you get a facility to say they'll take him. In the meantime, as soon as you get that, file your motion with the court. Doesn't seem like the state's going to oppose it.
Okay.
All right. Thank you, sir.
Thank you, Judge.
Thank you for coming in. All right. Timothy McKay is next.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Conti?
Yes, sir.
Thank you. State?
State has not filed an information on this case, Your Honor. He is entitled to an ROR.
Okay. You're going home. Good luck.
Well, I don't know what it is.
Corey McMullen?
Thank you also, Your Honor.
State?
Your Honor, State has not filed an information on this case. He's entitled to an ROR on this charge.
All right, if this is the only thing holding you up, you're going home. Matthew Smith. Where's Mr. Smith?
He's here present, Judge, in Maine.
Maine, thank you. State?
Information was filed. It was filed as presented, Judge.
What are you looking for as a bond?
Your Honor, this is just a motion to see if we filed an information or not.
Okay.
We'd ask that any matters involving bond be taken up before his assigned judge.
Okay. So anything else besides that, take it up. All right, thank you. Thank you very much. Larry Williams.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Mr. Williams, good afternoon.
Good afternoon, Your Honor.
State, what's your position on this? Have you filed?
This is on Larry Williams?
Larry Williams,
I believe
yes.
so. Let me confirm, Judge. Yes, Your Honor. Aggravated assault, possession of drug paraphernalia.
And those have been filed and the bond amounts have already been set?
Yes, sir.
All right, good luck to you, sir. Alex Coleman.
No problem, sir.
Thank you. Good afternoon, Mr. Coleman. State?
How you doing? How you doing, Your Honor?
Good.
Your Honor, on March 7th, the state filed an information, grand theft auto and DWLS.
Okay, bond's already been established. Good luck, sir.
I'm going to call Marcel for you, okay, Mr. Coleman?
Robert Bainey. Mr. Bainey, please.
No problem.
North Broward. Mr. Bainey, good afternoon. State?
Yes, Your Honor, the state filed an information on these charges.
All right, information's been filed. You can bond out. Next. Andres Raphael, please. Mr. Raphael?
Check to see where he's housed.
Okay.
That's what I'm showing, Conti.
All right. Hello, Conti. Do you have Mr. Raphael there?
No, I do not, but I could look him up. It wasn't on my list.
Look him up. Otherwise, I'll have to reset this for tomorrow. Andres Carrera? Where's the gentleman? Main jail?
Check.
No, nobody's there.
Yes, Judge, I'm here.
And do you have anybody at the jail there, or is it all
No.
satellites? Okay. Thank you. Anybody know where Andres Carrera is? Any of the three satellites? Where? Conti. No, not there yet. All right. How about Natalie Williams? Where's Natalie Williams?
Should be a Paul Ryan.
Oh,
All right. Miss Williams? Not there. Felicia Smith? Bonded? Okay. Wendy Carroll?
Bonded.
Bonded? Okay. Stefan Willis?
Bonded.
Michelle Del Vecchio?
She's in custody.
Where's Miss Del Vecchio?
I think I know. Probably. I don't know what's going on over there today.
Paul Ryan? Well, that's what we were looking at. Skip that for a moment. Joel Duar?
Bonded.
Bonded. All right.
Your Honor, is,
Yes, sir?
with respect to Andres Correa.
Yes, sir?
We did not file an information, so Mr. Reedy, I imagine.
He's ROR on Correa? Okay.
I'll waive his presence.
Thank you. And then the last three I have is Andres Raphael, Natalie Williams, and Michelle Del Vecchio.
I can tell you, Your Honor, we did file on Williams and Raphael.
What about Del Vecchio?
That's a second look.
All right, let's do this. Can we bring this, I don't want to burden Judge DeLuca tomorrow, but when's the next time you're doing a second look?
Every day.
We do it every
So then
day.
bring these back with Judge DeLuca tomorrow.
They're filed on, so nobody's getting out, right?
All right.
Just for record purposes, since the
Okay.
hearing was for today, they have been filed.
Is there anything else for the state?
No.
Defense?
No, Your Honor.
Anything from the clerks?
Just as long as the clerk is aware, and I'm sure they are, to bring these three charming people back to see us tomorrow afternoon.
Okay, I'm gonna go take care of some DJJ stuff now, right? So I need to close this down, and I just want to thank everybody for a good afternoon. Do I need to address anybody else on the regular docket? Okay, so I appreciate it. So if you're not an attorney with cases, I need everybody else to leave. All right, that means guests and even the media, unfortunately. It's a DJJ docket. Thank you.